Hi guys, welcome to another Figuring Out Japan video. We sell all the coolest Japanese collectibles and figurines straight out of Japan, and you can find more details about us in the description of this video, including our Facebook page and our store. So in this video I wanted to address a question that we get quite a lot via the store, and that is customers who are looking to buy stuff and get worried about the fact that we sell items in used condition. So the first thing I want to say is that the vast majority of figures that we sell are actually unopened. So people naturally ask the question, say, well, why would you then sell it in used condition, knowing that you could get it for more money in new condition? Well, the first thing is that, and you can watch. If you click the little eye in the top of your screen, you can watch my video about boxes. But firstly, from a value point of view, it actually really doesn't make a big difference whether a figure is unopened or opened. Now I know to some people it's a big deal, but I think generally to most people it really doesn't make a big deal. I mean, people buy the figurine for the figurine, they don't buy it for the box. So firstly, it doesn't really make a big difference. But the other reason, just to put it very bluntly, is that, I mean, we have our own store. You can find all the links in the description. But if you're going to sell on places like eBay and Amazon, eBay treats its sellers like crap. I don't know how I can word it any nicely. And buyers have a lot of power and authority on eBay. And you're always going to meet that, I don't know, 1%, 5%, whatever you want to call it, of people who just try to extort, money out of you for no reason. And, eBay will, in most cases, they will side with the buyer because that's just what they do. So we really don't have a choice. We just have to sell things in used condition. Now, what I wanted to show in this video is just a classic example. So here we have a one-piece figure. You can see that it's in unopened condition. This hasn't been opened, and you'll notice that it's in pretty good condition. It doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it. Now, if I actually shine the light, and it's very hard to show in the camera, but if you look here, there we go, there's one. So there's a little line, a little dent in the box here. And then as we go up, I can see it very clearly, but it's just hard to show in the camera. So if I go this way, you'll see that there's a big mark that goes along there. And there's another one. You can kind of see there's another one just there. It's very slight. And there's another one, there it is, just there. Now, if I put it like that, you can't see anything, right? There's also on the side of the box, there is a little, this one might be a bit easier to see actually. So you can see there's a little dent here. Now the reason why that happens is because these figures, if you actually read them, where does it say? Here we go. So it actually says for use as prize in Japan only. Now what happens is when these are released, you can't just buy them. You have to win them in crane games. And Banpresto does that so people can't manipulate the prices. Now that sounds stupid, but whenever you have figures that you can buy in Japan, people do that. They go and buy a heap of them, and the value of certain characters just goes up crazily, like Little Mac with the amiibos, for example. So you have to win them in crane games or UFO catches, and you can watch videos of people doing it, but it's kind of like a crane that sort of looks like this, and the arms come up and they come down, and they got like metal edges here, and the idea is not to pick it up and drop it. The idea is to sort of knock it. So you have to spend a lot of money, and that's like how the game centers sell, in inverted commas, these figures. So you're going to get these little marks. Now, for a lot of people, that's fine. But like I said, there's always going to be a small proportion of people who try to manipulate it. And in the early days when we would sell something like this in new condition, we actually, for example, had one guy bought a figure like this and it had some marks like that, and they actually opened the case and were demanding 50% of the total sale price as a refund. Now, when we sell a figure, we have to sell a heap of fees. We have to pay a heap of fees to sell the item. We have to pay shipping, all that sort of stuff. So the actual value of the item is less than what you actually buy it for anyway. He wanted 50% on the complete price. Now, long story short, we had to have a big fight, with eBay and that sort of stuff, and whatnot. But yeah, people do this, unfortunately, and so we would sell something like this in used condition, and eBay is too strict to sell something like this in new condition. Now, I think it's ridiculous. I'm sure 95 or 99% of the population think it's ridiculous. For some people, they rub their hands, they go, right, I can extort money out of a seller and do this. There are also, I'm sure, collectors out there. I'm sure there are collectors out there that will look at something like that and say, no, that's not acceptable for me. I want something that is in perfect condition, mint condition. We don't want to deal with people like that. I'll tell you bluntly. That's exactly why we put it on used condition, because we don't want to deal with people like that. But here's the thing. If you are one of those people, every seller that sells, Japanese figures are going to have the same problem, because all of these figures come from, initially were won through a UFO catcher or, some sort of game, and it's going to have those kind of marks anyway, I guarantee you. So the only difference is the sellers who are really honest and will say, look, this is used because it might have a couple of marks on it, and sellers who say, no, this is in perfect condition. And as I said, you really have to look. Most people would go, great, here's the figure, bang, open, take the box out of the way, there's the figure, great, I'm really happy with the figure. But it's just a case of one bad apple spoils the bunch. But I just wanted to show in a lot of detail. I know there's a lot of talking in this video, but hopefully that explains to people how all that works. So anyway, I'd love to hear what you guys think, and leave a comment in below. I'd love to read through and see what everybody else out there thinks about that. But thanks for watching. Hope this video was useful, and I'll see you in the next video.